What is going on, guys? I thank each and every one of you for joining me today, and before I kick this off, I'd like to start by asking two simple questions. How many of you guys out there enjoy throwing your soft plastic stick baits and soft plastic jerk baits? And if you do, how many of you guys out there want to convert more strikes to solid hookups? Now, if you like the way that sounds, hang tight, and I'm going to show you the easiest, most efficient, and most effective way to convert more bumps into solid hookups. Now, starting off, please keep in mind we're going to be working around an open flame, we're going to be using sharp cutting tools, and we're also going to be working around sharp hook points. So if you're underage or under the influence, please seek sober adult supervision. And with that being said, let's go over what you're going to need. Now, starting off, and pretty much the only thing in this entire hack that's somewhat specific is your choice of worm hook. You can't use this style. You need to use a style of worm hook that incorporates either a screw lock bait keeper or a kind of barbed pin bait keeper. Other than that, everything in this hack is very straightforward and there's nothing specific about it. Next up, you're going to need a length of braid. It doesn't have to be anything special. This is old Berkeley Fireline Tracer from about, 8-9 years ago, and it's probably a 40-pound test. And last but not least, go ahead now and grab yourself a treble hook. It really doesn't have to be anything specific as long as it's sized appropriate to the bait that you're using and the size worm hook. Very recently, a very popular and very successful tournament bass angler put out a video, and I'm willing to bet that if he sees the method that I'm going to use, he may adopt it over his. Alright, now that we have everything we're going to need, let's go ahead and get started. And for step one, take your braid, take your hook, and you're going to take the hook and drive it through the center of the braid as close to the center of the weave as possible. Now, if you're going to be tying a bunch of these, or if you just want to make it easier on yourself, take a pair of flat-jawed pliers and give it a little squeeze. If you flatten that braid, it's not going to weaken it at all, but it's going to make it a heck of a lot easier, especially when I'm doing this on camera, to find the center of the weave and poke it through without impaling your finger. And now you're done with step one. And again, the closer to the center of the weave, the stronger it's going to be. Now for step two, take your treble hook, run the braid through its eye, and now you're going to choose the drop length which the treble is going to sit beyond the bend of the hook. So we're going to give ourselves roughly about a 1/2 inch. So again, we're going to take the pliers and give it a squeeze and flatten out that section of braid. And we're going to bring it back up. And we're going to go through it again as centered as possible. And bring it down over the barb. Now at this point, don't pull on it just yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to trim these tags. We're going to give ourselves about, I'd say, a solid 3/8 to a 1/2 inch of tag end left after we cut it. Be careful you don't cut your arm off and impale your finger while you're at it. Again, you can give yourself a little bit more braid to work with so you don't have to really kind of get that close. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take our flamethrower and we're going to burn the tag ends to the point where they kind of ball up. But before you do, you don't want to run the flame on the braid too long, otherwise they'll ignite and will kind of melt down out of control. You want to leave the ball about maybe a 1/16 of an inch away from the shank of the hook. So we're going to go ahead now and slowly melt it down, making sure it doesn't catch on fire and melt out of control. And that's good. It's at this point you can give it a light pull, making sure that if it does break free, which it shouldn't, you're not going to end up hooking yourself. And if you have any doubts at all how strong this rig is, check this out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to start pulling. And watch what happens to those 2 tines of those hooks. See them kind of start flexing? Go to the one tine. This is a hook off of an evergreen Prop Magic spy bait, I believe. It's a pretty strong treble for how big it is, but it's starting to bend. Yeah, there you go, opened up, and you can see that didn't budge at all. Now for the next test, we're going to go ahead now and see if that barb of the hook is going to cause any damage. You can see I'm flexing the crap out of this worm hook, and it's not doing any damage at all. I'm going to pull and pull and pull, again against the barb, and you can see I opened up that end. So guys, it's plenty strong. You don't have to worry about the Spectra breaking, I guess is the best way to put it. A lot of assist hooks are made out of Spectra, which is the same thing as pretty much Dyneema. It's a ultra high molecular weight polyethylene weave. So Spectra, Dyneema, very strong stuff. So guys, I really hope that puts to rest any concern you might have whether or not this rig is strong enough or if it'll hold up or not. Alright, now that you're familiar with how to make the rig, let's now go ahead and compare this method to the method that Mike Iaconelli had shown in his video. So we're going to assume that the treble hook that we have lying around that we're going to use, it does have that third tine that's perpendicular to the hook eye. So it is perfectly in line with the hook shank. Let's go ahead now, and we're not even going to use any O-rings or bobber stops. We're going to go ahead now and place that tine in the hook. So if you look here, see how it's kinked up? It kind of wants to push back into the hook. You have to kind of futz around with it to get it lined up right. And when you do, when I'm bending it down, and this thing wants to kind of flex and move around, see how rigid it is? See how it just doesn't want to move? And take that same rig, and you see it's kind of drooping already? And I'm not trying to over exaggerate it, but this is kind of awkward. See how erect it stays? So that's one of the reasons. Now, let's go ahead and say we have this bait that's all chewed up and torn up. We want to replace it. So we take it off the hook tine, we take it off of this, and then you have to either rip it off or remove the treble and get it down. The bobber stop's going to come up and around the barb of the hook and get wedged up in there, and then you got to rig it again and get it past the bobber stop, and then you have to rig it up, and then you have to put the treble hook back on, etc. So there's another step involved, and I don't know about you guys. When I overcomplicate stuff, I do that at home, but when I'm on the water, I just want that stuff to be as simple as possible. So when I'm swapping out baits, I want it to be quick, simple. You know, if I can change out a bait in 10 seconds, 20 seconds tops, that means I can go ahead now and change from this style to maybe this style. It just makes your time in the water more efficient. Additionally, having the ability to adjust or set the drop back to whatever bait you're going to be using or to your liking, you can get that treble further back so it's not kind of being hidden by the hook profile and the bait itself. So you can kind of place it pretty much to your liking. And another slight bonus, and again not major, and it all depends on what kind of hook and style and gauge hook diameter you're using. If you go with a heavier hook in the back, you're going to add a little bit of weight towards the back of the bait, which will kind of make it sink slightly tail first. So that way when you are working the bait, it's going to maybe dart a little bit more erratically. I don't want to try to throw stuff out there or over exaggerate its benefits, but that is kind of a thing. And it kind of touches on how Mike had mentioned, and I'm not on a first name basis, so Mr. Iaconelli, sorry. If you look, in his video, he had mentioned that you can rig the bait so that the worm kind of comes off the eye a little bit further, and that allows it to dart kind of towards the surface, which is very true, especially if you're using a braided main line, because the braid's going to float, so when you do pull, it's going to bend this up, and when it moves forward, it's going to plane to the surface. Oldest trick in the book. It is very true, and I agree with him on that. But at the same time, if you drop that hook a little bit further back, you're almost accomplishing almost the same thing. So, mouse traps of different color, I guess is the best way to put it. So, with all that being said, give this rig a try. I wouldn't put it out there if I didn't have confidence in it. It's not something that I dreamt up yesterday. I've been doing it for years. I don't always use it because I'm not a big fan of trebles, but if I'm getting short strikes and just getting knocked baits and not getting hookups, I'll rig this up on the water. It's just that easy. Maybe I'm not a smoker anymore, so it's a little bit trickier, but I'll have one in the box this time of year, especially in the fall when the big girls are biting during the daytime and soft plastic jerk baits reign supreme. So if you guys found this informative, please hit that like button. If you want to subscribe, I have tons of stuff out there, all fishing tips, reviews, all that kind of stuff. Check out the other stuff on my channel and subscribe. And with all that being said, I wouldn't be here without you guys. I appreciate all the time you guys spend here. The last thing I want to do is waste any of it. So with that being said, tight lines, and I'll see you soon.